Hi everyone! So today I'm going to be making lentil soup. This is a Lebanese dish, but it's also made in other parts of the world, and it's something that my mother made growing up as well. So it's just a great soup overall, and I will show you how it's done. So I'm going to be using red lentils, and I'm using 1.5 cups. And these are the split pea lentils, so they just cook a bit faster, which makes it easier. So we're gonna need some lemon and an onion, 2 cloves of garlic, and you're gonna be using chicken broth, or you could use this, or you could use a cube of chicken stock mixed with water. So for the spices, we're going to be using a teaspoon of turmeric, a teaspoon of cumin, half a teaspoon of black pepper, half a teaspoon of salt, and a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cardamom. So the first thing we're going to do is just take your lentils, and you're going to want to rinse and soak them very well. So now I'm just letting them soak in some water after I rinse them thoroughly, and you're just going to set that aside. So I'm going to start off by dicing my onion, and then we're going to be sauteing that onion. That's the first thing we're going to do here. And so this soup, I actually have different recipes for lentil soup. So because there's so many different ways to make them, and I happen to really like 2 different recipes. So this is one with red lentils, and then hopefully I'll make another video of another kind of lentil soup that uses the dark brown lentils. So they're very different recipes, but both so delicious. So let's see how this one goes. Okay, so I'm just dicing up that onion, and I'm going to be using the whole onion, the entire onion. And I'm just going to heat up a pot and heat up some olive oil. So that's about 2 tablespoons or so of olive oil. Once it's heated up, you want to add in your onions. And then we're going to just keep sauteing those onions until they're brown and almost not totally burnt, but you want to have them a little bit dark brown and black around the edges. I find if you get it to that stage, it adds so much more flavor. So that's how much we want to saute the onions here. Okay, so I've let it cook for about 5-6 minutes to get to that brownness. So now I'm adding in the spices, and you just want to stir that around a little bit, and you're going to have to move a little quickly here because you don't want it to stick to the bottom of the pan. Adding in my lentils, and I removed the excess water from the lentils. So you will notice that the lentils will absorb a lot of that water, so that's okay, but just remove the excess. So giving it a bit of a stir, and now I'm going to add in my garlic. So I'm just crushing the garlic there and adding that into the pan. And we're going to stir that all together. And next we're going to be adding in the chicken stock. So like I said, you could use a cube with, usually it's 1 full cube to 2 cups of water, or if you have the liquid stock, you could use this. So I'm doing 3 cups of the liquid stock here, and the kind I'm using is the low sodium kind. So that was kind of by accident. I typically would like to use the regular kind, so that's why I've added a bit of salt to this recipe. So I'm also adding in a cup of water there. So that's 3 cups of stock and 1 cup of water, 4 cups in total of liquid. And then you're going to want to just bring that to a boil and let it simmer on medium heat for about 10 minutes and cover it. So after 10 minutes, you want to check on it. As you can see, the water has been evaporated quite a bit. So I'm adding in just under a cup of water. I like it to be on the soupier side, so that's why I'm adding a little more water here. So that should be enough. So I'm just giving it another stir. And I like to add a little bit of the crushed pepper flakes. So this is optional, but it gives it a bit of a kick, which I like. So I'm just adding in a little bit of that, covering it again, and letting it simmer for another 10 minutes on low. So after 10 minutes, so that's 20 minutes in total of cooking, I'm adding in 1/4 cup of lemon juice. So it's important to add this at the end when you're almost ready to serve. So I've added that, and I'm just going to cover it and just let it sit for another 5 minutes or so off the heat. So we're ready to serve now, and I'm just going to be serving that into my bowl. So look at that, guys. Look how delicious that looks, and it smells so fragrant. You can smell all the spices, and it's really, really good and tasty. So I'm just adding some fresh parsley here and pairing it with a piece of toast, and that's it. You have the perfect lunch. You have a great vegetarian meal. You know, sometimes I don't feel like cooking meat, and that's why this is such a great alternative to have. It's full of protein, full of vitamins and vegetables, and it's just so good for you and so tasty. So thanks so much for watching, and I really hope you like this recipe. So let me know what you think, and I'll appreciate a thumbs up as always. Enjoy!